Welcome back to 23-Minute Reads with me, Maya D. This is kind of like my virtual book club because in these 5 minute or so videos, I share with you my takeaways from my current reading. Right now, that is Black Performance Theory. As my 23 to 23 challenge, I'm reading 23 minutes per day, every day as an action of self-love, as an investment into myself, and as a way of providing myself with some consistency in an ever-changing world. Hoping that you will join me along in this journey by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and dropping some comments down there in that comment section so that there's an actual dialogue going on. Having in mind that while I have several decades of experience as an educator, a curriculum writer, and a dancer, I'm not the know-all be-all for this book. I'm simply providing a space for dialogue. Well, this week I read pages 141 through 176, and let me get my notes, because here are my 3 takeaways. Takeaway number 1 is Spaceship. This is a continuation from last week, coming from the essay Flying Africans in Spaceships. The essay discusses how flight serves as a metaphor to death and other forms of resistance. The book mentions how the Igbo and the Biafra committed suicide, even mass suicide at times, in higher percentages than other enslaved people, and so much so that some slave owners refused to buy these people. Traveling the essay allows us to travel from the time of the transatlantic slave trade to Toni Morrison's book, The Song of Solomon, to that funky form of Black nationalism provided by George Clinton, to Kanye West's Spaceship. A quote from the essay reads, "Flying Africans and their reincarnation in rap music depicts difficult choices made under physically and psychologically trying circumstances." I'm left wondering if it's really reincarnation or is it just remembering, because we have older societies like the Akan who have the Adinkra symbol in Saroma, which translates to Child of the Stars. We also have the Dogon people who, without telescopes and written knowledge, have celebrated, have honored Sirius A and Sirius B since the 13th century, of stars which telescopes did not pick up until hundreds of years later. To be honest, I have always believed that Africans could actually fly, and not as a metaphor. I've always felt that there are some forms of cultural technology that have not been passed on in written form to newer generations. For example, the Dogon, who have no written form of language. Which takes me to takeaway number 2, heritage. In the essay Ethnospheres by Anna B. Scott, we are reminded not only of the importance of repetition because it inscribes information into both our mind and our body, but how it informs heritage. There's much discussion over which form of history is more valuable, written or oral history traditions. I believe that they are equally important in creating a sense of home for people who have been uprooted from their homelands. The book offers this quote: "We didn't write it down. We have to take claim beyond our bodies and write shit down." The Dogon have both a home and a heritage without the use of written language, but through the repetition of stories. Transcription, meaning the writing down of stories, offers home and heritage to those that don't have access to those oral stories or to their homeland. I finished this essay thinking, repeat it, transcribe it. These are the ways to create home, these are the ways to create heritage, and these are the ways to maintain them. Takeaway number 3 is ambidextrous. Ambidextrous legacy is one of the ways that Little Richard is described. Here's a quote from the book. "Little Richard has been recycled as both the buffoon and genius, spectacle and virtuoso. He is an ambidextrous legacy that distills the dilemma of Black musical crossovers." The idea of living between two worlds has been previously discussed in this book club. I hope that you liked and subscribed by now to this virtual book club. I'm really interested in this buffoon and genius dynamic. I freaking love genius comedians like Dave Chappelle, but I'm not really into like the buffoonery side of it. I feel like a genius comedian creates an experience that allows you to take down your walls, your inhibitions, and your resistance so that they can talk about the uglies in society and in politics in a way that you giggle because it resonates with you rather than going to a defensive place. But I wouldn't say that buffoonery does the exact same thing. But what do you think? You can let me know down there in the comments, because I'm just starting this and it helps me when you let me know what you think. Thank you for staying to the end. That was all 3. Make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Stay blessed, spread a good word, and I'll see you next week.